for everyone's survival and welfare, and end poverty and discrimination banner and cuts. And we think it's just fantastic that this march has been organised. There's growing bedroom tax campaign. Someone was telling me from Glasgow there was a meeting with 140 people last week. The campaign is growing, the movements are growing, and it's really good to come together from different communities. Those of us who are immigrants, those of us born in the UK, single mothers, people with disabilities, pensioners, young people, and all of us, to protest against the cuts that are killing us. As many people here know who have disabilities, surviving in this inaccessible and prejudiced world is so much work. And instead of being called scroungers, we are all entitled to all the benefits, the housing, the whole welfare state. And we've done a self-help sheet, which we've given out here, which is also online, so people may find that useful if they want us to send them to her. Winvisible is independent of all political parties, and that's one of the reasons we really wanted to come on this demonstration. As we know, Jessica has made that very clear. Because there's really, as everyone knows now, a coalition of the three parties. Labour's going on, but they're the ones who brought in a lot of the benefit cuts, the disability benefit cuts, a tax on single mums. And so we are out to attack them as well as this government. And we have been campaigning, like others here, against ATOS getting people exempted and against the benefit cuts. People obviously are getting cut in really terrible, drastic ways, left destitute without any food. And the food banks, you can only go 3 times. What are you meant to do after the third time you've gone to a food bank? We've also heard even food banks in London are running out of stocks. We wanted to say something on the racism and other prejudices that the government is whipping up to really try and divide those of us on benefits, those of us on low-wage jobs. And at our Women's Centre, there's an all-African women's group. So we see directly how people have been less destitute. Some years ago, they first attacked asylum seekers, and not enough people came out. Let's say it as it is. We did our best, but we said if they can attack mothers and children who have fled countries where they've been raped and tortured, and they leave them without any money on the streets, they're going to do it to the rest of us, and that's what's happened. And they were also, the first people that they sent out of London were also asylum seekers. They dispersed people from London to other cities, up to Glasgow, to other cities in England, and dumped people where there was no resources. And now again, they're doing the same to all of us. We also wanted to say that, people have said how the government is using the bedroom tax to really try and destroy our communities and our entitlement. Families are being made homeless and destitute. Children having to move out of schools, losing friends and support networks, and women are being forced to go back to violent situations to keep their home for themselves and their families, or to have to turn to so-called illegal work to survive and feed our children. And more children are being taken to care all the time. And as people have said, also people with disabilities having to leave their homes, which have been adapted. The bedroom tax and benefit caps are social and ethnic cleansing policies. They're not about saving money, but about stealing money from us. The councils have told us it actually costs more to implement, and the government has said how it costs more to implement these cuts. They're trying to destroy their planned policies, trying to destroy our communities and all our entitlements, and we won't let them. This is part of the resistance against it. Some councils also, people may know, are actually trying to find ways of reclassifying bedrooms, calling them studies, or passing no eviction policies. And we've got to really keep up the pressure and support the few people in the councils who are ready to stand with the community. I'm going to finish really soon, but my colleague Claire here.
Jesse said 1 minute, so really, can we just do 1 minute?
1 minute, that's perfect. On the 1st of May, in the House of Commons, the John McDonnell MP, who really defends us, we launched the Global Women's Strike, and women of colour launched this petition demanding a living wage for mothers and other carers. And basically what we are saying is mothers, carers, doctors fighting against hospital closures, trade unionists defending whistleblowers, social workers, people with disabilities, grandmothers, everyone spoke out. What more valuable work is there in society than bringing up children and looking after each other and everyone? Raising children is not counted as work, but being in the army and killing them is, and that's not right. The petition that we're circulating is a way that we can oppose this uncaring market and use it as a tool to come together and organise for our entitlements and against low wages, no wages and cuts in benefits. We have to come together more and more, like Jessica's organised this. We have to, because our survival depends on it. And as people said, already too many people have died. They also want to lock up those of us who protest. Look at what happened to the young people in the riots. People of colour and white young people were thrown in prison for like stealing a bottle of water or trainers. We can't let that happen. We have to defend our people in prison. And people may not know, or they may know, that in the US, 30,000 prisoners have gone on hunger strike against inhumane conditions, while their partners, sisters, daughters have been organising outside in support. And some of us protested in front of the US Embassy. That's what we all face. That's why we have to fight together until we've defeated these cuts and re-establish all our entitlements. Okay, on to Downing Street!
We've got 8 minutes to go, everyone, so pack up now.